Hey y'all, Carolina Tony here, and today the road brings us to the only national park in South Carolina, Congaree National Park. Now they say Congaree National Park is one of the worst national parks in the United States, and I know what some people say, at least a few of the reasons. Today we're going to see what's here at Congaree National Park. By the way, it's the first time I have ever been here. That's hard to believe, but I'll let you know what I think. Some of the reasons. They say this is the worst national park in the U.S. And we'll get started right after the station identification. National park here is a lot different than some of the other national parks that we had visited. The parking lot is very small. We're going to walk over to the visitor center. Here's something you may want to know if you come to Congaree National Park. If using bug spray, insect repellent of any kind, please apply it only in the parking lots. One of the big beefs about coming here is a lot of folks don't know, but South Carolina's second state bird is the mosquito. They are basically the size of a parakeet, and they bite. Their bite is vicious. This should be a warning to you when they have a mosquito meter. Right now we're on mild, and when it gets real cold it's going to be on all clear, but I'm gonna promise you after May it will go all the way to war zone. Listen, I live here, I know it. The famous Congaree National Park boardwalk. It meanders through the forest and through the swamps here in Congaree. By the way, Congaree has approximately 10 hiking trails. If hiking interests you, this is probably, if this is a trail, this is considered the 11th. It's part of the list. But it's very easy. It's wheelchair accessible. In 2003, Congaree became a national park, and it became the 57th national park in the U.S.
It's home to the largest old-growth floodplain forest in North America, with large, majestic bald cypress trees. Congaree boasts both the tallest, 169 feet, 52 meters, and the largest, 42 cubic meters, loblolly pines, alive today, as well as several cypress trees well over 500 years old.
Congaree got its name from the Native American Indians, the Congaree Native Americans. And there are no black bears here. Many, many years ago they used to have red wolves here, but they're no longer here now. This park is fed by floods. The Congaree River is bounded on both sides by bluffs that mark the edge of the floodplain and help contain floodwaters that cover much of the park each year. Floods brings minerals and other nutrients to the floodplain ecosystem. Now, just for instance, let's look at this pine here. Now, back in Terrell, South Carolina, where our home is, there are tall pines, but look at this one. It keeps going and going, and you'll break your neck if you try to see the top of it. Now, as I said, this place is vicious for mosquitoes. In fact, the visitor center is closed, and if it was not closed, I would get me a t-shirt, but they have one in there that says, "I donated blood at Congaree National Park." During the summer months, this is the 1st of November, so it's kind of cool. Right now it's in the 50s, and there are no insect out. But during the summer, South Carolina is known for its hot, humid, sweltering days. And this is the kind of temperature that mosquitoes just love. And if there's any mosquitoes on the face of this earth, they will find me, I promise you. This forest existed long before it was protected as a national park. If you're real still and listen very Good. You can hear these sounds. These natural sounds that we hear right now are the same sounds that was heard by the Congaree Catawba tribes that came here long ago. And I don't know if it comes out on the camera, but we hear crickets. I hear frogs croaking, and back in the distance I hear owls hooting. There's me and Debbie, and look, she's back there.
Hey.
Yeah, and it's our both of our first time here at Congaree National Park. We've seen pictures of this boardwalk that we're walking on down through this cypress swamp, and you know, this may not appeal to a lot of people, but I'm gonna tell you, if you are into nature, if you are into God's creation, it's here. You can just imagine what it would have been like hundreds of years ago out here, just in nature, listening to all these sounds and seeing these things. Which one of the things that we read that makes this a bad national park to some people is they say there's nothing to do here. Well, there are no water slides. There is camping, there is canoeing, there is hiking, but that doesn't appeal to everybody. But it's just really neat, especially if you live in the city, to get out here where it's quiet and just experience this. And if you've never done it before, you need to give it a try. This is not a swamp. Now, a lot of folks would like to call this a swamp, but actually it is a floodplain forest. As I was saying a few minutes ago, that the complainer that wrote the article about the worst national park, definitely on a different plane than what I am. But some said there was nothing to do here. There are hiking trails galore. There are ranger-led night programs, and I can't imagine what it would be like to walk through this hardwood floodplain in the night. In the spring season, there are fireflies. I know in the Smoky Mountains there are synchronized fireflies. Well, hey, Tennessee don't have anything on us because we have them here in South Carolina as well. And it's always in the spring.
Just a few miles from here, where the Congaree and Wateree rivers meet, a maroon settlement once existed. These settlements were comprised of individuals who escaped slavery on nearby plantations and formed their own independent communities. Rivers provided a means for travel, finding food, and acquiring supplies. Dense vegetation in the floodplain floors, like the twisted roots seen here, provided safety because of the difficulty it posed for slave owners and slave catchers attempting to traverse it in pursuit of those who had escaped.
As I said, there were numerous trails. Well, here's one of them here. This is called a Firefly Trail. And there's some nature right there. You see him? It is a gray squirrel.
There was one just
and there goes one there. As I said earlier in the video, this is not a swamp. There are areas that stand in water, such as around these cypress trees, but there are other areas that are a little higher, and the hiking trails are on those. But this area is also prone to flooding, and you could be on a trail and the trail that you're on can disappear in a heartbeat.
The 18th Amendment was passed in 1919, prohibiting the sale and consumption of alcohol in the United States. Moonshiners and bootleggers found refuge in places like the Congaree River floodplain to earn a living. The iron box you see in the distance is an old still used to make alcohol. Water and corn squeezins were used to make a sour mash. The mash was heated and distilled through copper tubing to produce moonshine. The Congaree floodplains, difficult terrain, and tall trees made it the perfect place for moonshiners to hide stills and produce their illegal liquor.
Congaree National Park. So Debbie, what you think?
It was interesting, not what I expected. It's very peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
there were no mosquitoes, but they don't like me anyway, so I can't attest to that. But it's very nature-esque.
Yeah. It's definitely different from traipsing through the desert and over rocks, that's for sure. I thought I would get off the boardwalk and walk down on Firefly Trail. Just give you an idea what this boardwalk looks like from a lower level. You see the sun is going down, so it's going to be dark soon, and we're trying to make our way out. Well, that's going to be a wrap for our trip to
Congaree National Park.
Yeah, Congaree National Park, right outside of Columbia. I think we are officially in
Hopkins, South
Carolina. It has been very interesting. It is not what we expected. Would you say?
I don't really know what I expected. I knew it was going to be rustic.
Yeah. Well, from what we read, an article earlier today said it was actually the worst national park in the nation. Well, I can promise you, I think that's wrong.
I do too. If you're looking for bells and whistles, this is not the national park.
No water slides.
No rock formations.
No rocks.
No rocks. But all the boardwalk is flat.
There's some incline, but not much.
Very little.
It's definitely wheelchair accessible.
Exactly. If you're a nature lover, this is one of the places you need to go. However, don't go in the summer.
Exactly. We're here in November. It's actually November the 1st, and the weather has been beautiful. Debbie had to come out of her jacket a while ago, and I've been in a long sleeve shirt, so it's been very comfortable. My question to you, did you enjoy this video? If you did, be sure to give us a big old thumbs up. Be sure to share this video with your family and friends. And also, another question. Have you been here before? Comment and let us know what you think. Again, thanks for watching. But until now,
Y'all have a good day.
y'all have a good day.